Linear regression with categorical predictor in SPSS through generating a dummy variables. Linear regression is one of the statistical method that is performed to find out whether there is a relationship between two variables. One of the variables is the outcome or the dependent variable or the response variable, and the other variable is the predictor or the exposure or the independent variable. To perform linear regression, the outcome variable have to be or has to be continuous, and the predictor variable can be a continuous variable or can be a binary variable or a categorical variable. Linear regression analysis in SPSS can be performed with binary predictor, with continuous predictor, but for categorical predictor there is no direct options. It has to be done through generating or recording the variable into a dummy variable. Here in this data view, I have two variables: systolic blood pressure, which is continuous variable and it is the outcome, and the age, which is the predictor and it is categorical. There are three categories in the age variable as shown here, and they are given a value of 0, 1 and 2. And if we click on the variable view and then look for the age variable and click on the values, 0 value is given to an age group or category from 18 years to 45, and a 1 value for the age group from 46 to 70 years old, and a value of 2 for an age group of greater than 70. So to find out whether there is a relationship between those two variables, so the age variable here is the predictor and it is categorical and it has 3 levels in it. Let's first of all look at the descriptive data for the variables. If we click on Analyze, scroll down to Descriptive Statistics, then click on Explore, and in the Explore window move the systolic blood pressure into the dependent variable or list and the age into the factor list as it is categorical, and click on OK. A table is generated showing that there are 3 categories in the age variable and there are 30 cases in each level. The second table shows the mean for the systolic blood pressure for the age group, which is the youngest group from 18 to 45, and it has a value of 116.3. For the second group or level in the categorical age variable, the mean is 155.7, and for the third level in the variable, the mean is 189.6. There is an increase in the systolic blood pressure with the age group as shown here. To do linear regression in SPSS for a predictor that is categorical, there is no direct options to select. We need to transform the predictor variables into a dummy variables, and the way to do that is to click on Transform and then scroll down to Recode into different variable. And so we are going to generate here 3 different dummy variables for the age predictor. So in this window, select the age, drag it into this box, and then give the output name for the variable such as cat 1 for category 1, which is the youngest one, and in cat 1 it's going to be between two brackets from 18 years old to 45 years old. Close the bracket and click on change, and then click on old and new. So we're going to record the value for the first category in this age variable. For the first level in the age variable, the old value or the first value is 0, and we're going to change that into 1, and then click on add, and anything else in the that dummy variable will be equal to 0. So if we click on all other values equal to 0, add that, and then click on continue. So what have we done here? The first dummy variable is generated, which is called cat1, and every group that is between the age of 18 to 45 is given a value of 1, and the rest are given a value of 0. To do the second dummy variable, click on transform, record into different variables. Now we're going to change the output into cat2, and the cat2 is going to be assigned for the age between 46 to 70 years old. And if you click on 70, enter 70, click on change, and then click on old and new values. Here we're going to first of all cancel all these, remove them, and remove the second one. And for the second level, which has a value as shown here of 1, so the old value is 1 for the level 2, and we're going to keep it as 1, and then anything else will be 0. Add 0 here, and then add the new values. Click on continue and click on OK. A second dummy variable is generated for the second level, and the second level, which is from age 46 to 70 years old, is given a value of 1, and the rest is given a value of 0. And finally, doing the or generating the dummy variable for the third level or the third category, which is greater than 70 years old. Insert the first of all is category 3, and then insert greater than 70. Change the output variable into cat3, and then click on change, and then click on all the new values. So the old values for this level was 2, and it's going to be, first of all, we need to remove these old values here, and then in the old value here it was 2, change that into 1, and then add that, and anything else will be given a value of 0. Click on add, and then click on continue, and then click on OK. A third dummy variable is generated with the third group, which is greater than 70, is assigned a value of 1, and the rest are assigned a value of 0. So this is the way to generate dummy variables in SPSS with categorical variable that have 3 levels in it. To do linear regression, click on analyze, then scroll down to regression, and then click on linear. In the linear regression window, select the systolic blood pressure and move it to the dependent box or variable. And in the independent variable, which is the predictor, the way in SPSS it works is that 2 dummy variables are inserted here, and the third will be left out as a reference. So here we're going to leave the youngest category, which is 18 to 45 years old, as a reference category to compare to, and just select the cat2 and cat3 and move them to the independent box here, click on OK. An output is generated here. A model summary is generated showing the R, and it is very high, and R square is 93.7%. So 93.7% of the variation in the systolic blood pressure can be explained by the age predictor. What is important in this output is this coefficient table, which shows here the category 2 and category 3, and category 1 is not shown, as category 1 is the reference category. So here the value is for category 2, the coefficient, unstandardized coefficient is equal to 39.4. So this value means that age group from 46 to 70 years old have a 39.4 systolic blood pressure higher than the young category, which is category 1. And for category 3, the systolic blood pressure is 73.2 higher in this group compared to the reference group, which is the young group from 18 to 45 years old. These values here are significant, as the p-value is less than 0.05. So we have compared here the level 3 to level 1 and level 2 to level 1. What if we want to compare cat 3 to cat 2? Go back again to the linear regression, and now we're going to leave one of these dummy variable out and inserting cat 1 in the box here and cat 3, and then using the cat 2 as a reference category to refer to. And if we click on OK, again scroll down here, we get a new table with coefficient. Now here the reference group or level is category 2, and it's missing here. So cat 1, when it is compared to cat 2, it is in minus, because cat 2 have a higher mean than cat 1. So the systolic blood pressure is 39.4 lower than cat 2, and comparing category 3 to category 2, there is a 33.8 higher blood pressures, and here it's also shown that this is significant. So this is the way to do linear regression with predictor that is categorial in SPSS, and generating or recording a dummy variables to do the analysis.